Hi guys, welcome to Ola House, Bali's most saved home on Pinterest, where Balinese craftsmanship and Japanese inspiration meet this modern version of a luxurious surf shack home. Come in. As we enter, you will see that we have these incredible steel pivot doors that you can just turn. And this door just is the perfect entry door for Bali because it just perfectly symbolizes this indoor-outdoor living style that we have in this villa and that you will take a look at today. Now, this home has actually been passed around quite a bit in the past in the expat community on Bali, and a lot of super cool people have lived here and turned it into what it is today. And this house was actually originally built around 1996. So almost 30 years ago, and it belongs to a Balinese family, and actually the Balinese woman who comes here every single day to make all of the offerings. She's the neighborhood granny in Uluwatu and a key part of the community. But it has been renovated in 2024 by an expat couple, Kat and John, who turned it into what it is today. And what makes this place unique is not only the gorgeous and beautiful design that we have here, but also that John actually has a construction company. And so whatever materials are left over from different construction projects, he used them and repurposed them in this home. And so this home is just really a blend of different local materials, and they're all absolutely incredible. Also, if you don't know me, my name is Jane and I'm an interior designer, and on Interior Insights we bring you the best home tours in the entire world. So go subscribe right now if you haven't yet. And of course, you can also check out our Instagram where we post much more interior design stories. Now over here, we have the open living room area, and Bali is known for its indoor-outdoor living. So two sides of the living room area are actually completely covered with these pivot steel doors that you can open. And so you can just let the nature in and really connect the inside to the outside. And over here behind me, we have the large kitchen area. It really just reminds me of this fusion of a kitchen and this like very down-to-earth surf shack, because the kitchen panels are actually reclaimed timber and they just have this really aged materiality and tactile finish to it. And for the kitchen counter, we have a more modern version of the terrazzo that just gives it this very modern and luxurious design. And I absolutely love this seamless terrazzo niche that they've created for the sink. It just is a real small wow moment within the design. If you're struggling with picking the right furniture for your home, I've created a completely free guide with the 5 most common mistakes that people make when it comes to choosing and combining their furniture. In the guide, I also show you how to fix them completely for free without having to buy any new pieces of furniture. It's completely free and it won't be available for long, so you can get it by clicking the link in the description or by scanning this QR code by taking out your phone, opening the camera app and pointing it at the QR code. Another thing that is very characteristic for this home is the fact that the walls are just regular walls that have been covered in plaster, but actually we have limestone from Bali used, and the limestone has been placed both on the inside as well as in the exterior part of the house. And so you just feel like you have these like almost columns that the house consists of, and between we just have glass. So you just have this really incredible collection of different materials. And to keep the design really light and airy, we have a circular glass table, which is always a great thing if you want to save some space, and these beautiful Fritz Hansen chairs that just perfectly round off this modern Japan-inspired server villa. Now let me show you the living room area, which is a dream. Now, what is really funny is that I told you that John has a construction company in Bali, and he built this house himself, or like renovated it together with his wife. And because he builds houses on Bali, people in Bali always approach him and show him the exact pictures of his exact home and are like, okay, can you please build this for me? And then he always goes like, oh, it actually is my home. So this home is actually really famous, and like I already mentioned, one of the most saved homes on Bali on Pinterest. And I mean, I understand why. We have just this really rich selection of materials, and the living room area consists of an L-shaped sofa that has a very low profile And its shape and soft gray color is just really inspired from Japan, where the couple always loves to travel. And the area just feels really spacious and minimalistic, but because we have so many different materials, it doesn't feel empty or blank. And these are also my favorite flowers that you can buy on Bali. They have an incredible smell. And to keep the space light and airy and to just have a consistent geometry throughout the design, we have a circular table in the center. I think another reason why this home feels so seamless integrated into its surroundings and its nature is because we also have recycled teak on the ceiling. And it also just creates this kind of rough and timed atmosphere. And then the ceiling just extends well above onto the terraces. And so you just have this like floating expansion of the space. Now, before I show you the outside area and the pool, join me and let's take a look at the bedrooms. I really love that this door has also been really integrated almost into the kitchen. So you basically just have this hidden door to the more private parts of the home. Let me take you there. Now, because this home hasn't been newly built, but it has been renovated into what it is today, the floor plan is also based on the house of 1996. So here we have a small, narrow, minimalistic hallway. And so you can just really see this little source of inspiration for the home. And now we're entering already the ensuite bedroom. And this is also just a really dreamy bedroom. It really reminds me of the local craftsmanship of Bali and also of Japan, because we have these two very large, historic looking, I'm not sure if they're artworks or if they're pieces of wallpaper that have been preserved as art. And it just really reflects all of these like aged materials that we can find in this home. And this wabi-sabi approach to the design. And of course, because we're in Bali, we have this gorgeous rattan integrated storage area. And I think it is really cool because usually we have these more tight knitted nets, but this one is actually almost see-through. So then again, you can just see all of these different layers of materials that we have. And so the bedroom just has this very serene and calming atmosphere so that you can calm down after a long day of surfing right next to the beaches that we have over here. I told you that all of the inside and outside spaces are connected with each other, and so even in your bedroom, you can just open your glass facade and then just walk out onto your little terrace, which is also really beautiful. And of course, we also have a pool, and it is really gorgeous because it has this very organic shape, and the water is just reflecting all of the bright light, and everything just feels really alive. And so I think why this home works so well and just seems so perfectly floating is because the terrace extends around the home, and then also the roof extends around all sides of the home. And so you just have this really nice geometric perfection of a design. Now, this home was originally built by a Balinese grandmother. And of course, like most Balinese houses, they always really respected and thought about how all of the ghosts and mythical creatures will live within the home. And so here we also, of course, have our own proper integrated temple where the lovely grandmother, who was also famous in the Uluwatu expat community, and everybody loves her because she's just been around forever, comes to do her daily offerings. So let me show you. And even here, the garden is very inspired, and you just feel like you're in your little Zen garden with the birds twittering. And so up here we have our own little Balinese temple, and this is actually how all of the homes used to be on Bali. But now these days, often when people decide to buy or build a home here, they don't do this anymore. So I'm really happy that this tradition is still preserved. Now let me go and show you the bathroom as well as the second bedroom. Hold up, wait, pause. Let's quickly do a color palette analysis of the incredible Ola House. Now this space is built around a toned, earthy and neutral color palette, especially with the textured stone wall, the soft plaster, and all of the natural wood, creating a layered and grounded foundation. And at first glance, it may seem like this color palette is almost monochromatic because we just have all of these like gorgeous earthy browns and beiges and all of these like natural shades that come from nature. But actually what breaks up this perfect harmonious color palette? And that is because on the color wheel, all of these earthy tones sit in the yellow-orange range. And so that really is like the dominant part of the color palette. But then we also have like the lush green on the outside and all of this like beautiful, gorgeous green color coming in from the outside and coming in through the windows. And all of these soft greens and blues really balance all of the earthy colors and create like a sense of balance and harmony. So the name of this color palette is actually a split-complementary color palette, where all of the warm-based tones are supported by the cooler, subtler color accents. And of course, to keep the color palette from feeling too flat, we have all of these small little pops of color. I'm sure you've already seen them, the red pop off the cushion, and many more. And these small breakouts from the strict color palette are what really create this like rich and layered depth within the color palette. And this is something that I can only recommend for you to do in your own home as well, is to not follow a color palette too strict, but to also just like loosen it up a little and break it up and just try to ingest like a pop of color here and there. It will work, trust me. On our right, we have an open outdoor bathroom area, which is really gorgeous. And you can really see in the bathroom that you have this very consistent use of different materials, a limestone backdrop for the sink and vanity, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And then the sink is just one really large XXL sink that is also made from terrazzo, and it just looks super cool, and you can just really feel that you're living in the jungle on the cliffs of Uluwatu in Bali. And this bathroom really is an example of what I mean when I'm talking about indoor-outdoor living. So the entire bathroom is actually on the exterior of the house. We have an outdoor shower, a large terrazzo bathtub where you can just soak a little bit. And for added privacy, here we have a small wall divider. And over here we have our own little toilet. And so the entire bathroom is basically just on the terrace of the exterior. And above me, we can also see the overhanging roof ending, and it's just a very beautiful little moment. And now up here, we actually have a portrait of the grandma that I've been talking about. And this exactly is the Balinese woman who does the offerings. And when the couple moved into this home and started to turning it into what it is today, this house actually used to have a door that just opened into nowhere. And then when the couple asked the grandmother and were like, why do you have this door there? The grandmother said that she created this door for the ghosts to come. And she also added a little ledge so that when the ghosts would leave the home, they would trip and fall. So I think that this is just a really beautiful example of how the people in Bali live. And I'm so glad that this space still honors the Balinese tradition today. And so over here, we have the second bedroom. This time the bedroom isn't facing the pool side, but it actually is facing this wall that is covered with ivy, I think it's actually called ivy, and different jungle plants, and it looks super cool. And then you can see that we have a lot of the same consistent materials repeated again to just create the sense of calm, and so that you can wind down after a long day of having fun on Bali. The walls have been plastered in this very soft gray that just acts as a really calming and serene backdrop. And this home is actually one of the homes that is hosted by Stays with Lola. So it is really all thanks to Kat, the owner of Stays with Lola, for making it possible that we are here and we get to show this to you and to our community today. We even had a little welcome, and their service and also the homes that they show are just incredible. So if you're looking to find a cool place on Bali, definitely go and check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment what your favorite part is, and we have many more incredible homes filmed, so go watch them right now.